Marcus, I'm going to give it to you if you want to answer that, or I'm going to
Yes.
go on. Okay.
Okay, thank you all very much. This was a great conference. Thank you, Daniel, for setting this up. I really appreciate it. Good information. A lot of people had great quality content. So this was a great conference. We accomplished our goal. I want everyone to know that. Many of you thought about your talking points. You've seriously been thinking about this, supporting this initiative and what you can do. So, wow, everybody came through. I just want to say, yes, there's more to do, but you all, this was good. This was really good. We as a movement have gelled around an idea and everybody's thinking about it. And wow, that's a level of focus that we've never had before, ever. So 2016, 2017, it was, that's what that group's doing, and screw them, we have nothing to do with that. Now everybody's saying, okay, we're all going to support the initiative, whether what group you're in. That's never happened before. And we have people in power talking to us. Never happened before. So I want everybody to get that straight in your head. The movement has never been more unified. Yes, there's a lot more work to do. I already know what you're thinking. Yes, we have never been this unified, and we have never had this much institutional response, ever. So in those two regards, we're better than we've ever been, and that includes when Trump won. Know that. Now, a couple things. Here's my talking points that I would say. Number one is, if they're going, why should California secede? I would look them in the eye and say, do you have a thing called TV? Because if you're, I mean, are you not seeing America's falling apart, the pandemic response, cities on fire, etc. The country's clearly falling apart. And I'm coming from the Hannah Miyamoto / Hal Moore school, which is, you're looking at me like I'm crazy? You must not have these things. Because if you're watching TV, it's clearly broke or sinking or failing, and it clearly can't be fixed. And if you're questioning that, move on, because you're not going to get it. You're brain dead. And I would come at them hard like that. Oh, seceding and looking at it's crazy? You crazy. You don't have a plan for a lifeboat? You think it's outrageous to think of this? Obviously, you're brain dead. I would come at them hard. That's my opinion. Don't have to do it. I would also tell them, if they go, why should California secede? Well, two reasons. One, I think we're a pretty good place. And I think some of you were hitting on it. We pursue laws America won't. We pursue laws and progressive ideas America won't do. We would have more money to fund everything we want to do. Do you want better schools? Gonna happen. Better roads? Gonna happen. Better buildings? Gonna happen. You name whatever you want, we're gonna get more of it, because there's gonna be more money, like 160 billion, or 2 times the budget. So if anybody's like, why would this be better? How about everything that we don't fund well is fixed forever? If that ain't enough to impress you, you're probably brain dead. Secondly, and I said this to Jim Wonderman. I said this to Jim Wonderman, who is super well connected to the political establishment. I said this to Wonderman, who's very well connected to the political establishment, and he stopped what he was doing and zeroed in on what I was saying, because he knew I was right. He couldn't say it, but and he goes like this. You're right. Sacramento politicians are politicians. You're right. And they're going to blame this and say, I can't do that, and be corrupt and not get what you want. But you know what makes Sacramento politicians able to do that? Is they can go, I can't keep track of these federal regulations and these regulations and this, and the feds won't let me. Picture a Sacramento where they don't have anyone to blame but themselves. I'm sorry, Governor. I'm sorry, Assembly. You can't blame the federal government. If you, Sacramento, don't get it done, it's all your fault, and there's nowhere to blame, and you can't confuse the public anymore. When I said that to Jim Wonderman, who has worked for 2 politicians, calls Nancy Pelosi and her nephew routinely, he stopped what he was doing, and you could see his eyes clicking on. He got it. Sacramento politicians love being able to say, it's so complex, the feds are getting out of my way, the courts, whatever, wiped out. You're going to do what I told you to do, or you're going to be fired, Newsom. That's never happened in California politics, ever. And Jim Wonderman, his eyes got real big when I said that. He knew exactly what I was talking about, a level of accountability that would never happen before. that plus doubling the budget should be enough to get these people going, wow, it would be better. You're talking about we have money to fund everything and politicians who can't blame anybody else but themselves. Folks, that's nirvana. That's a utopian level we've never been able to achieve. That's huge. Secondly, I would come at them with, why do you think we can stay part of America? You're not seeing it falling apart? Look, when I talked to Jim Wonderman, you got to understand, he spent an hour of that talk talking about his son. I called Jim Wonderman. We talked about an initiative to secede. He spent half an hour speaking about his boy, who was learning how to drive and going to become an adult soon. Now, why would someone that politically connected, who would never spit on me if I was lit on fire by lightning, talk with me now for an hour and spend half the time talking about his teenage son? Maybe because he's terrified for his children's future and he doesn't know if there's going to be a country. Folks, this is a politically connected, powerful person. I don't have the video, but trust me, he spent most of that time going, what happens to my kid? I have to think that's the reason why he picked up the phone. He is terrified about the future for his children. That's key. That's key. Zoom in on that. And the accountability for politicians, his eyes got real big. He knew what's up. So I would use those. Secondly, if anybody comes at you with Russia, this is why we partnered with Independent California. This is why Independent California is leading the initiative. This is why Shankar's doing the training. This is why Hal's being leader. That don't go nowhere. Oh, Russia, Russia, Russia. Okay, well, IC's doing most of the on-the-ground work, most of the actual coordination of activists. Oh, they must be a Russian spy. I tell you what, why don't you go talk to Hal Lohr and Shankar and tell them that to their face? And then let's get a camera rolling and see how well that flies. It's going to go nowhere. Point to IC, tell them, here's their phone number, go accuse them to their face and tell me how well that went for you. It's going to go horribly. So Russia's wiped out. Why should you do this? You're blind. Or you're telling me accountable politicians and double our budget isn't better? You must be crazy. Finally, I will point out that, yes, Hal Lohr is correct. Do not put up with harassment from anybody. Anybody harasses you, goodbye. Do not spend time arguing with people who are never going to agree. Goodbye. There's no point. I mean, if you enjoy that, great, but there's no point. You're just wasting your time. You're just going to get stressed out. It's better to kick that person to the curb and move, wait for somebody else who's interested. Shankar's right. John's right. So those are my main reasons. I would also point out the Colorado River. If anyone brings up the Colorado River, tell them that the people who run that thing say it's going to be dry in 10 years. It's dead. The people who run the Colorado River have said because of the thing called global heat rising, Colorado River is not reliable anymore. We can't count on it as Californians, period. You're going to have the Colorado cut off from the federal government. Mother Nature's going to do that way before they ever get around. So what's your plan to place it? You don't get to do, well, we stay part of America and we get the Colorado River. What's your plan to replace that water? Thanks for bringing it up. By the way, it's gone anyways. So that's not a good reason to not leave. Who said that? The people who run that mother. Why don't you go tell them they don't know what they're doing? By the way, the manager of the Colorado River said the situation is so dire. He wrote an article predicting that in the future, if the Colorado River stayed like this, states would secede. The person who runs the Colorado River said it's so bad that he speculated states would secede if it stays this way. Not exaggerating. That's how bad it is. The Colorado River is not a good talking point for anybody. Additionally, here's how you can make it easy to get signatures. A lot of people have already saying this. If you have a shirt and you have a sign, I got a shirt and a sign that says initiative. You can see me a mile away. What do you think I'm talking about? An initiative, independence. They're going to know, folks. So when they approach you, they're already approaching you, ready to talk about this. So great. You get a sign and a shirt, you're halfway there. You get a table, and you put one person besides you behind that table. It could be your grandma who says, I don't believe this. Okay, grandma, can you sit behind the table and drink coffee for an hour while I talk? Sure. They're going to think grandma's with you. Grandma never said that. Doesn't matter. They saw two people, shirt, sign, table, one person who thinks this is the dumbest idea ever, but will hang out with you because they love you, sitting behind the table. 80% easier. 80% easier right off the bat. So you don't do those things, yeah, you got to approach people. But you have a sign thing, table, which is cheap and you can print, and a friend, you're 80% there. Super easy. Secondly, Hal's right. If you don't get the signatures, every single person is a member. Every single person you talk to is a member. Every single person you speak with is a new member. And if they don't join, this is what I would do. I would say offend them. So if you know some Trump-loving Republicans coming up, have grandma turn the phone on, have the Trumper come on over, and then say the most offensive, terrifying Fox News thing you can to him on that video, have him be offended, and I'm pissed, and I'm going to go write about how people you should not know. Great, great. Make sure to tell everybody I'm called Independent California when you say how I'm horrible, please. Free publicity. Free publicity. Conservatives, these Californians are so left, they're going to secede. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you for the free press. Oh, and I posted the video of you being offended by me. And thank you for sharing that with your fellow Republicans, because when left people see conservatives get pissed off, left people join. So I would say upset some Republicans and go out of your way to do it. You'll have people emailing and calling you and asking to join for free. This is California. They love it when you offend Trump people. Know that. So, sign, shirt, buddy, table, 80% easy. Cut off the people who are too difficult to talk. Focus on the next thing and offend Trumpers. The other thing I would say is, if you have a tablet, one of yours, you can say I'm registering people to vote. Big sign over your table. Sign petition to secede, equally big sign, register to vote. What a horrible person you are, trying to get citizens in your community to vote. Wow. Folks, they're gonna love it. You're a hero. You're trying to get people to vote. And if you, like Professor Williams you put up a sign saying, join the state guard. I got a thing to register people to vote, poor minorities especially, and I got a form to sign the state guard. You monster. No one's going to say that. By the way, I also have a petition to secede. I support my community. Okay, I want my community voting. I want my community in the Cal Guard, and I think you should also sign this. I'm civic minded. I'm a community member. Now you're 90% easy. See how easy that got? It's only 10% difficult now. I took it from 100% difficult to 10% difficult. Shirt, sign, friend behind table. We're registering people to vote and signing this petition. 90% easy. Only friends and allies are going to show up. And the occasional person who signs up to argue with you is probably going to get argued at by the other people there. The other thing is, the moment you have one person standing in front of you, 15 others will show up. That's the thing you need to know. You get one person talking to you, 100 other people see that. They see your sign for secession. Oh my God, people are interested in secession. I saw a random person walk up to that tent. 15 other people will walk up. It's not super hard. Also, I got to tell you something I'm real pleased with. Shankar Singham and Simha, John is up in the Bay, in NorCal, Shankar's down in LA. Those guys are masters. I've watched them. And then Matt Owens is also a master. I mean, these people can just walk up to anybody and get them to sign anything. So I'm not that good. I am not that good. I have seen John in action. I have seen Shankar in action. I've seen videos of Matt. I am not that good. But we have people who are. I just want you all to know, this time we got veterans. field marshal generals with tons of experience. Simha, Shankar, Owens. It's there, and we know what we're doing. Finally, I'm going to leave it with this. Get your signs, get a petition, join the register to vote. People are going to love you. It's going to be great. Now, I want to add one last thing. So I've spent about $4,000 on this initiative. We have gained media publicity. We have gained the California Senate knowing who we are. One of the 100 most powerful people who speaks to the governor has read our initiative on secession. And we have worked with a Green Party founder on our initiative for secession. That's huge. That's huge. I cannot we're not appreciating how big that is. Famous people in power were part of this initiative. That's what we're going to get to say. That's game changing. I don't think you're going to have to sell people that hard on why to secede. I don't think it's like last time. I know what people were talking about. It was tough to get progressives. People see America falling apart now. I really don't think it's going to be tough like before. I think they're going to get it. And if they don't, look them in the eye and go, you dumb? I mean, are you, like, seriously, are you stupid? Like, you don't see TV? They couldn't handle the pandemic response. European countries are talking about pulling out of NATO. 20 cities were on fire. If this ain't enough to convince you, there's nothing going to happen, homie. Walk on. You clearly can't be, you don't understand English and are unsentient. Now, we're there. It's going well. I would like to leave it with, if anybody can PayPal me some money, I could use some. So I spent about $2,200 of my own money to make this happen and do advertising. I was happy to do it. Happy to do it, love to do it. However, I'm not going to be able to pay rent here in about 5 days. So if any of you can PayPal me at marcus.ruiz.evans@gmail, whatever you can, I'd appreciate it. If you can't, it's fine. I know some of you are on budgets. I'm not talking to you, and I don't want your money. If you have struggling to budgets, do not send me a penny. I will not accept it. But if you can, please. And I'm doing that to point out I need help, but also to point this out. There are some debates going on in our movement right now between people who want to get things done and people who want to debate and debate and debate and think about it and check it out again versus the activists. We're going to have to move past debate comes in the way of activism. We're going to have to, as a group of people, say, I love debate, I love think tanks, do it over here, do not do it in front of activism. Stand aside. Activism goes forward. We have to evolve as a movement to do that if we're going to win. And this is what I want you all to get. I just got the initiative going. I just filed it. I grabbed people who could. We are getting attention. Now, some people are rightfully saying, hey, Mark, you didn't run it by me. You didn't run this. You didn't run that. And if I waited to talk to everybody, we'd have nothing. You move or shit don't happen. Don't wait for perfect. Don't wait to check every box. Go. Start. So to all the critics of, you didn't consult me and you didn't do this, you're right. You're right. And if I checked every box, we'd have nothing. Get started, jump. Or get out of the way. And I need everybody in this movement to understand that and tell everybody else in this movement. There are people now who are saying, let's debate instead of act. Wrong. How we lose. Bad. I love think tanks. You know I do. On the side. Not in front of activism. I was willing to risk being homeless because this is that important. Don't wait for people. Don't ask for permission. Jump. You are the leader. You are the one that's going to make this happen. And the moment that initiative got filed, people started coming out of the woodwork. Don't do this, don't do that. I don't like what Marcus said. I'm glad that happened because now you know who you should cut from your life. When things happen, people jump up and say, hold on, wait, don't do that. I'm not sure. Goodbye. You're not with me. I'm going somewhere. Now, I didn't say, hey, Mark, I got other phone calls. Mark, here's an issue with this initiative. I think you should handle this. Mark, it's the way you said this to someone. I didn't like it. You should do that again. I love you for saying that to me. Sue has called me out. John has called me out. Daniel has called me out. Hannah has called me out. I love you all. Not who I'm talking about. Constructive criticism is one thing. We need that. I'm talking about people who don't say how to make the initiative better, but say, maybe we shouldn't do it at all, or hold on and let's talk about it for 2 more weeks. Get the fuck out. There's no place for you. We don't need you. Leave. You are hurting the movement. I'm sorry to be that way. I wasn't even going to make the statement, but folks, it's getting real. And I'm seeing people coming in and being obstructionists. Bye. You all know I'll debate with you. Some of you have really called me out. I love you for it because you wanted the same thing. You know, I argue with Hannah all the time. I love it because Hannah wants what I want. Ultimately, we have 2 different visions to go there. And then there are other people who will argue with me for the sake of arguing. You got to know which one you're talking to, okay? There's some of us that are going to argue and come after each other because we want it so bad. And then there's going to be some of us who are going to jump and obstruct because they're trying to grab power or they're sensing it's real. We're going places now. Activism needs to be the way forward, and anybody who can't do it needs to step out. We're there now. Move forward with that. And here's why. We gained 3,200 new members last week. We gained 3,200 new members. I'll write it down for you so everybody gets what I'm talking about. Here you go. Plus 3,200 new 3,200, 3,000 new members who are ready to do something and join because they saw the initiative. Why do you think they contacted us? Probably because they want to help. That number could have been 10,000. So let me draw that out for you. Okay? This is really important, and I need everybody to get this. See that number? That's 10,000 new members ready to help with the initiative. We're not going to get that. We're only going to get 3,000. So we have lost 7,000 potential members. We have lost 7,000 members. We have lost 7,000 members. We have lost 7,000 members. Why did we do that? Because the people who said they were going to donate to the initiative had to debate and talk. So the money's not here. So I wasn't able to put it in advertising. So that is now wiped out and gone. I needed that money at a certain time to promote advertising. I told everybody that 3 weeks ago. A lot of people couldn't come through. Now, I've already talked to some of you. I'm not blaming you. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about other people. Those of you that talk to me, you know I ain't talking about you. But I want everybody in the movement to know this. When you debate, when you wait, we fucking lose. We lost 7,000 members because people couldn't come through. You are making us lose. I have no tolerance for the people who want to debate anymore. We lost 7,000 members because of your ass. Thank you for holding us all back. The people who want to debate and stand in the way need to get the fuck out. Best way I know how to say it, you cost us 7,000 members by debating and talking. There was a real cost. And you made it where I'm probably going to be living on the streets next week. Thank you. Now, I love many of you, and you know who I'm talking about. I ain't talking about you. But get that right. When you want to talk and you want to debate and you need to go over this and it ain't perfect, people go fucking homeless and we lose 7,000 members. You fucked us. Get out of the way. I don't ever want to talk to you again. The rest of you on this call, I love you. You're not who I'm talking about. We're going to move people and win, or we're going to lose. It's real now. I couldn't even get 5 members last year. I have 3,000. I could have had 10. People didn't come through. We lost 7,000 members. If I had delivered you 10,000 members, this game would be different. Now we're going to be doing it with 3. Still good. Jesus Christ, folks, imagine 10,000 new motherfuckers who were ready to sign this initiative. We lost it. Gone. Thank you, the people who wanted to debate. Thank you, the people who wanted for perfect. Thank you, people who waited. Thank you, people who couldn't jump on board. You fucked us. In my opinion, you should not be part of the movement. Everybody on this call is not who I'm talking about. But you know who I'm talking about. I'm going to leave it there. We are close.
Wait.
A guy who calls the governor spent an hour. The head of the Senate called. Get it through. I mean, Jesus Christ, people, we are almost there. This is the time to win. Talking points, hustle. That's why I'm calling you all. You guys are the ones that hustle. Everybody on this call is the people who hustle. You are the leaders. You will win. Those people who want to sit in the background and talk, who else? Go away. You ain't going to be part of it. I don't want you to be part of it, and I'll talk shit on you the moment you try to step up. Now, those of you that called me out and work, I love you. You could call me out on TV, and all you're going to get is a big hug from me because you do shit and you make things happen. I love it when you people call me out if you do stuff. I'll leave it there, Daniel. Take us out.